In our childhood days, we used to do our class homework on our own. When we moved up to higher classes and didn't understand something, we mostly asked our grandfather for help. My grandfather had retired as a math teacher from PR College in Kakinada. That's why he was excellent at explaining math and English. Whenever he went to Sumswaram, we'd ask Dad instead. He would explain too, but not like Grandpa. Dad was more intense and loud. Right away, Mom would say, "That's enough," she understood. "If you shout like that, your throat will start hurting," and she'd stop him. In the lower classes, whatever our teachers taught was enough for me. But once I reached higher classes, I started seeking Grandpa's help. In the early years, I studied Telugu, English, math, science, and social on my own. But in the higher classes, I focused well on Telugu, English, math, physics, and social. Whenever I had any doubts in English, physics, or math, Grandpa would explain them easily. But there were two subjects that always scared me: Hindi and biology. Biology involved drawing diagrams. I was terrible at it. No matter how much I studied, I could only manage tiny sketches. The big diagrams were a nightmare. I'd just sit there crying over the record book. After a while, I'd fall asleep in that same spot. The next morning, I'd start crying again. No one woke me up. Now how will I go to school? Then Dad would say, "Chinaka drew the diagrams in your record last night, dear. Take a look." I'd rush to check the record, burst out laughing, say thanks to Chinaka, and get ready for school. During the exam, somehow I'd scribble whatever I could manage. In 12th grade, at Shade School, our biology teacher, Mrs. Sushila, explained very well. One day, when we went to the biology lab, a tray was placed in front of every 2 students. Curious, I looked and saw a cockroach in it. Though they'd asked us to bring our dissection boxes the day before, I didn't expect they'd actually make us sit with a cockroach. Poor cockroach, it was sedated. I quietly asked the girl next to me, "Can you do it?" She said, "Oh no, I'm scared." So we both sat there, arms folded. Did our teacher stay quiet? Of course not. She said, "I know some of you aren't doing anything. At least lift the cockroach and show it to me. I'll give you some marks for that." Even the girl next to me was scared to even touch it. But after a stern warning from the teacher, we had no choice. We each grabbed a cockroach's leg with 2 fingers, held it up, showed it, and quickly dropped it back into the tray, breathing a sigh of relief. And then there's Hindi. Oh, Hindi. No matter how much I studied, it just wouldn't stick. I studied 10th and 11th grades at Nidadavalu High School. Our Hindi teacher used to ask us to copy a passage every day. I used to struggle so much with that. One day, I couldn't manage to write it. At school, during the short break, my friend Sri Lakshmi was furiously scribbling something. I asked, "What are you writing?" She said, "Hindi." I didn't write it at home either. I asked, "Then what are you writing without looking at anything?" She said, "Sir won't really read it. He just wants to see the Hindi script. So I'm writing a Hindi movie song." You should also write a song you know in Hindi as if it's the lesson. From that day, whenever I didn't do my Hindi homework, that's what we did, write Hindi film lyrics pretending they were our classwork. When I got to 12th grade and joined Shade Girls High School in Rajmundry, our Hindi teacher, Mrs. Shashama, got hold of me. She was serious. This was a public exam year, after all. We needed at least 25 out of 100 to pass. But I wasn't even sure I could get those 25 marks. She warned me, "Bharati, remember one thing well. Even if you pass in all other subjects, if you fail in Hindi, you'll have to write all of them again." Now, you want to know what our Hindi textbook had? On every page, the left side had a picture, for example, a book on a table with a pen on top of it. The right side would have questions like, Question Kitab Kid Har Hai? A. Kitab Mej Par Hai. Question Kalam Kid Har Hai? A. Kalam Kitab Par Hai. That's it, simple little words and sentences. Even for that, I used to go through so much trouble. In the end, I passed the public exam with just 40 marks. Now, when I think back on it, I can't help but laugh.